A lot of things have changed, particularly around the green team hiring Mr. Ime Udoka. What do you think about the hire?
No, I mean, I like it. I'm listening to all these fans and everything say, Brad Stevens knocked it out of the park. This is a great hire. I like the hire, but Sherrod, as you know, it's like drafting a rookie. Everybody's or signing a free agent, Kwani. I need to see the proof in the pudding.
Right.
I'm happy for him. I'm excited for him. Everybody seems to like the guy, but ultimately he's going to be judged by wins and losses. And so I'm going to just chill, sit back, wait and see how he does. Because you guys know Celtics fans. What happens if they, finish 7th this season? Is the honeymoon over or something like that? And so I'm not going to, say this is a slam dunk or anything like that, because there are a lot of good coaches who haven't won a championship. I mean, think about, Brad Stevens. He had a great run in Boston, right? But he didn't win the title. And I think Udoka, he is brought here to win a championship, and that's what he will be judged on.
I got the feeling, though, that – go ahead, Kwani.
No, to that point, you can always say the right things in the opening press conference, but how are you going to actually execute in the season? For Udoka, he's been emphasizing that Jason and Jalen are the stars that he's going to build his team around. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, Kwani, they have no other choice, right? I mean, you're riding and dying with Jason and Jalen unless you decide to move one of them, and I don't think Brad would do that. And so this is your core. These are the two guys that are going to carry you as far as you can go. And so I think what Udoka is trying to do is instill some confidence in these guys. He talked about wanting them to be a badass out on the floor. And so I think his chips are all in. The Celtics chips are all in on these two guys. Let's not forget, they are still young. But then I look out there in Phoenix. I'm looking at Devin Booker, one win away from leading his squad to a championship. I'm looking at Trae Young leading his squad to the Eastern Conference Finals. And so I think it's a young man's game right now, and it's time for these young boys to step up.
It's a young man's game. I absolutely agree with you on that. But those two examples you gave, they also have old school G's that got their back. When you look at your boys in Phoenix, you got Chris Paul. You look over here in Atlanta, which is where I'm at right now. You got Danilo Gallinari, who's giving you some good minutes off the bench. You got seasoned guys who've been there, done a few things in the game. And then you come to Boston, you got Grant Williams. You got Peyton Pritchard.
Yo,
nice players.
Why are you making that face up? Why you saying Grant Williams? You like Grant Williams?
Because I'm talking about OGs who've been in the game for a minute, and Grant Williams is so at the other end of the spectrum.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that, Sherrod? Whose fault is that?
Danny Ainge.
Okay.
Right. Boom. What? Did that the sisters stutter? No, it's Danny.
Kwani, was he saying that 3 months ago? I just want to make sure now that Danny's out, let's not. No, I agree. But Danny tried to bring in those stealth veterans, Sherrod. Think about it. He brought in my guy, Jeff Teague. That didn't work.
His guy. We haven't heard that in a while.
I would have gave you a pass on passing on Jeff Teague as being your guy. I would have absolutely given you a pass on that. Garbage.
I don't waffle. I don't go back and forth. If you're my guy, you're my guy. And so you're boy Tristan Thompson. He brought in Evan Fournier. No, that's your boy. He brought in Evan Fournier. And so he just brought in the wrong OG vets. And so it'll be interesting to see what Brad does with this roster, right? Because I agree, they do need some OG vets around him.
I'm just hoping that he doesn't completely strike out one OG after another. Because think about it. When was the last time they brought in somebody with some mileage on him that actually panned out? I don't count Evan Turner because Evan Turner really wasn't an OG. Shaq, this was Shaq's last stop.
Al Horford as a free agent? Come on, hey, don't disrespect Al Horford.
No, I'm just thinking Al was in it for 8 years. Al was like 28. Yeah, I guess Al was probably the last one.
Yeah,
maybe
Gordon. Al Horford. Yeah,
Gordon don't really count because Gordon, that was like Brad's like, that was his boy. I don't count. Yeah. I don't count that one. I don't. But here's the thing. You brought this up a little bit earlier about how Brad, had a lot of success, but obviously didn't win that chip. And Brad finished, he's like right now, he's 4th all time in wins as a Celtics head coach. The 3 cats ahead of him all got chips. I'm wondering will Udoka have a little bit more, for lack of a better word, time to figure this stuff out, knowing Brad's history. Like, it's not like Brad it can say, look, well, you know, when I was coaching the team, he can't do it like Tommy. He can't talk the way Doc could. He can't do it the way guys who've done this for a while can just say, look, I paid my dues. I got my chip. This is how we do it. Brad, it has to be more like, I won a lot of games. I didn't get the chip. I feel for you, son. I know what it feels like to come up short. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I think
hard enough for him when he needs to be hard is what I'm trying.
Right, and that's what I question about Brad Stevens. When it comes time to make the tough decision, i.e., fire somebody. I don't know if let's say in 4 years it's not working out. Is Brad going to? Brad got 8 years. Let's not forget. Brad got 8 years as head coach of the Boston Celtics.
No trip to the finals.
Exactly. I don't think Udoka gets that long of a leash. If he doesn't get to the finals in 8 years, I can't see it lasting that long. I just can't see it. I think this franchise is hungry to get back. Eastern Conference Finals, been there, done that. It's all about getting to the championship right now.
I think Brad realizes what's at stake, too, when it comes to his legacy. As you mentioned, he didn't succeed to the level of expectation as a coach. And for his first move to be one that is still considered controversial because people loved Kemba, and for him to bring back Al Horford, I think he is willing to bite the bullet and do what needs to be done. Obviously, we have to see him be able to do that with Udoka, but I think that was a pretty bold move on Brad's part because I didn't expect him to be the bad guy and trade away Kemba, and that was the first thing that he did.
Yeah, but I can't give him a pass on that, Kwani. This is what he did. He traded away a guy that everyone likes, and he brought in a guy that everyone likes. So there was I think from a perception standpoint, there was a zero net gain with that. Now, as far as playing, you got an older guy, you got rid of, you brought in an older guy, you got. I think Brad, what he did was he made a deal that made a lot of sense. That wasn't going to get him any kind of really blowback. Yeah. Now, if he were to trade away Marcus Smart, and you brought in some guy that's like, I don't know, like we'll just throw out a name like Matisse Thybulle or something, or just some scraps. There will be blowback. There will absolutely be blowback, and I'm curious, how is he going to handle that blowback? I mean, is he going to duck and bob and weave, or is he going to just stand in the storm and take them hits? I don't know.